Welcome to the Enlightenment Masterclass of the Law of Becoming. This masterclass is meant for you to learn to achieve mystical or out-of-body experiences, for you to activate your pineal gland and become the awareness of the multidimensional being that you are. For that outcome, I will share with you the why and how and the practice for you to achieve it. Now, first, I would like to lay out how this masterclass will go. I will share in different parts the why and how and the practices. My intention is for you to have, by the end of the masterclass, the whole awareness of how to embody this experience, the enlightenment experience. In the case that you are watching this masterclass out of the academy and you don't know me, I am Amorita and I am the founder and creator of the method and movement, The Law of Becoming. I created the Law of Becoming method and movement based in my book, which I wrote on 2020. I started writing this book on 2020 after my near-death experience, a superhuman, mystical near-death experience. And actually I had more than one near-death experience. Now, that first near-death experience changed my life completely. I came back to my body, connected with everything and everyone around me. I was perceiving reality literally like Neo in the Matrix, with the coding information, the divine hologram. I was bumping into doors and walls because I could not perceive separation. I could not perceive physical reality. I was downloading information day and night. I continued to do that. I was going to the light school of knowledge every day for a month and a half or so with light beings in purpose. I would go out of body to that planet of light, to that light school, with two light beings teaching me. I was telepathic. I came back to my body in that near-death experience that, by the way, you don't need to die. Let me just say this in advance. You don't need to die to have mystical experiences, to change your life, to access superhuman powers. Not at all. You need to activate your pineal gland, and you can do that in many different levels. Now, let's continue with my experience, with my presentation for just a little bit more. I came back to my body after that near-death experience with superhuman powers, but I also had other out-of-body experiences or mystical experiences activating my pineal gland that did not require it for me to die. The summary of all the superhuman powers that I came back with is that I came back telepathic, I came back downloading, again, universal information about existence, consciousness, why we're here, how to manifest our dreams. I came back genius, creating the methods, the law of becoming, and in mind songs. In mind songs are the first manifestation music in mainstream music in the world, and they are also based in neuroscience. These songs are manifestation songs to reprogram your brain for good. They create autopilot repetition, which accesses the subconscious brain for you to build a new state of being, a new neural map with almost no effort. So now, I had no idea about any of this. I literally downloaded the science behind in mind songs. Now, when I checked the principles of neuroscience with my method within mind songs, everything checked. That is why they work so well. You have the links for everything below. By the way, I am sharing with you my superhuman powers, the one that I had and they faded away and the ones that I keep having, because this is a potential for you as well. Not only the superhuman powers that I am presenting you as my experiences, but there are unlimited, infinite superhuman powers that you can achieve. Now, there's no difference between you and me because we have what's needed to achieve those experiences, which is a pineal gland. And you have a pineal gland, is the famous third eye, which in reality is the first eye, but we're going to get into that. So now, my experience, again, is for you to be inspired that you have the potential to embody and experience your superhuman powers and become the unlimited multidimensional being that you are. You know this. That is why you are in this masterclass. This information resonates with you, either because you're already very familiar with this information, or either because you are not really, but it resonates in your heart, or because you just discovered it, and the way that I express myself, it resonates with you. But you know that this is real, and that is why you're here. Your soul cannot lie. I always say you can lie to yourself, but not to your soul. So now, to continue inspire you with the superhuman powers that I brought back with me. I came back telepathic. I came back perceiving again the divine hologram. I was in oneness, awareness completely. I could not feel the difference between something and me about someone and me. So I was the connection of all the brains in all the multidimensional levels in no time or space. So I could access the famous Akashic record, which basically is the universal information, the quantum field that's within you and all around you. So I became the awareness of information. I could, as I just expressed, go in purpose out of body. Actually, the difficult for me, it was not go out of body. I was fighting hard to not go out of body, and I had to learn to self-regulate to not go out of body all the time. I also came back to my body, improving English like 60% or so at once. I thought that I was already speaking English, but you know, when you speak a language and you think that you already dominate the language, but then after years, you start to dominate really the language and you're like, okay, my 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 knowledge about that language was really not good. That was exactly what happened to me. I came back to my body, improving like 60% English at once. And I realized, okay, now I do speak English. I wasn't speaking really English back then. I remember exactly the moment when I downloaded English within me. I could feel the electricity codes of the language downloading like in my brain, literally like zzz, and I could feel it and I would just embody the language. I did it on purpose too. Now, I regret that when I was super, super high in enlightenment, I did not download it like Chinese or another like language. But anyways, I can do that still. I also healed from being a stutter. I could barely talk before. I was a stammer or a stutter since I have memory talking. I had periods where I was so bad, seasons where I was so bad that I would just be stuck in every word, like I could not speak. And I would just be stuck and do weird faces and weird movements. It was not good at all. Then I had seasons where I could speak better, more fluently, but not really amazing, always uncomfortable and always using the same words that start in a consonant that do not start in a vocal, but I could not start because I could not pause a sentence and start in a vocal. That was like so difficult for me. I could obviously not record videos, not make content because I could not speak barely. And I remember when I started creating content, it was really like challenging. I would literally spend like 4 hours editing a video of 1 minute and a half because I had to cut so many times to hide that I was like stuck in my speech. When I came back to my body, I didn't heal straight away my speech. I did actually, but then I lost it when I came back into the third dimensional awareness, like some months later, when I started to come back to the third dimensional awareness. And then, like after some time, I healed applying the law of becoming method. Basically, I will tell you quick, I healed my speech in the case that you need to know how by communicating my authentic self to the people that I care. And they were like limiting my soul. I was like giving them too much importance and I was waiting for the approval or whatever. So in this case, it was my mom. I opened up and I just said everything about my life. Now, if you don't know me, I was raised in a Muslim family in a very difficult environment. My father is the second or third imam, like the priest in a mosque in the history of Catalonia, of Barcelona. My family is very Muslim and I was like really tortured into believing in Islam. I never did. And it was very difficult to break from that environment. So my dad was the difficult one. My mom as well in many other ways, as well in Islam. But I do not care about the opinion of my dad, but I did care about the opinion of my mom. So I just blocked myself and I couldn't speak. But applying the law of becoming, I did solve that. So just in case this serves you for you to be able to communicate better, like if you're a stammer or if you're not, but you really want to communicate better. Now, to continue, just for you to know me a little bit, so I am sharing like a little bit of pieces of my life here and there. What other superhuman powers that I came back with is that I healed from anxiety and panic attacks. I was suicidal because of the panic attack for so many years and anxiety every day. I couldn't leave the bed in one point. I was crying day and night. I would go to sleep crying and suicidal and wake up crying and suicidal. And I will wake up crying because I didn't die in my sleep. I was wishing to die in my sleep. Imagine how bad I was. And I healed. I completely healed. I came back as well with the superhuman power of longevity and as well with the secret of immortality. So I came back, as I said, with the secret of longevity and actually of physical immortality. Now, I am not saying that I am now immortal, but in a way I am, because I can shift and you can shift into immortality at any time. When you achieve and sustain the fifth dimensional awareness, when you sustain your enlightenment awareness, we're going to talk about that as well. So with so many qualities, with so many superpowers, I came back to this life experience, and I'm sure that I forgot like 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, but maybe they will just appear during this masterclass, that I am thriving every time that I share with you that this is possible for you. Because again, we share the same fact that we need to achieve those experiences, which is you have a pineal gland. That's it. Like you are a soul with a pineal gland. That's the multidimensional antenna, and you can achieve these experiences or even more experiences and different ones that are life-changing. Now, there is no other way than expansion and evolution. We're all evolving towards the fifth dimension, the sixth dimension, the seventh dimension, and not in the order of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, because everything is happening multidimensionally. But what I mean is that it is inevitable. Like you will evolve into a fifth dimensional being, either this lifetime or another lifetime. By the way, all lives are happening right now. But you know that that's the way, you know that that's the path for you to go with the flow with that expansion awareness, wherever that takes you. And for that, again, I thrive in assisting you to become that unlimited multidimensional being. So let's begin this with this huge inspiration, this masterclass, which is not about my enlightenment experience, it's about your enlightenment experience. Let's go. Now, after this introduction of who I am, I'm going to share with you my story. This, again, is intended for you to be inspired and for you as well to have an example and testimonial of how does it feel, how enlightenment feels. Because it's not a process, it's a moment in time. It's an event that happens to you. You are not enlightened and you are enlightened. Okay, so for you to get familiar with the emotion, with how you feel. Of course, everybody feels differently, but there is something that everybody feels with enlightenment, which is the oneness awareness, which is heart orgasms, brain orgasms, downloading information, which is like your electromagnetism. These experiences are the same for everyone. Now, you can have them in different levels. We're going to learn as well that there are different levels of the fifth dimension awareness, of enlightenment. But when you are enlightened, when you have the experience, you have the experience. So, my experience. In 2020, I had that near-death experience, which led me to enlightenment. Actually, that near-death experience was my enlightenment experience. Now and again, you don't need to die to have the enlightenment experience. You have to activate, in a multidimensional way, your pineal gland. This is exactly what happened to me. I activated in that very, very strong near-death experience my pineal gland. Let's say that a near-death experience, a conscious near-death experience, when achieving enlightenment through the near-death experience, is the biggest enlightenment experience that you can have when you consciously stop your heartbeat and your brain activity, consciously yourself. Why I say consciously yourself? Because people have near-death experiences and they are not even conscious of it, and they do have some mystical experiences or not, but they are not fully conscious of it. So they are not embodying literally and letting go the body literally consciously and feeling it all and welcoming the experience for them to be aware of it, to hold no time in no space. I had that near-death experience back in 2020. What happened to me back then in 2020 to have that near-death experience, and how was that enlightenment experience? I wasn't spiritual back then at all. Actually, I was very allergic literally to like hippie-minded people or mindfulness like communities like, no thank you, run. So as I said, I wasn't spiritual at all, but I was aware that it was an energy, that I was existing as part of an energy, of an intelligent field energy, without even knowing that the quantum field existed, but that it was an energy that created everything, that that you had to feel in the present moment that whatever you wanted to manifest, it was already part of your life for you to achieve that. And I would practice the law of becoming before even creating it myself as a method and calling it myself the law of becoming. I was very aware that it was an intelligent field putting order in existence and creating existence itself. But I never really spoke about it. It was just like an intuition, emotion that was always within me, part of me. Now, in 2020, I reached the point where I was too broke inside emotionally, and also broke, like I had no money and I was very, very lost at the same time. I was struggling and suffering for many years with anxiety, panic attacks, a lot of panic attacks, hundreds of panic attacks that paralyzed my life. I was in fear, constantly in fear. I was depressed. Of course, I had seasons of really, really bad and being suicidal, and seasons where I was doing great, but then I would have downs. I would then ups and then downs. It wasn't nice to experience, not at all. And in 2020, when the pandemic hit, it affected so many of us, to not say like almost all of us, in many different ways. I lost my job. I was working as a henna tattoo artist for 13 years in Menorca Island. I had a henna tattoo store in a hippie market without being a hippie, which, by the way, brought me a lot of problems because many people there did not like me at all, because I was like, back then, it wasn't like in fashion, to be a hippie and to use like high shoes and lipstick and makeup and super short skirt and wear sexy. And I was that person, but without being a hippie. Like, I was always with my high shoes and makeup and lipstick and sexy. And they couldn't stand me, many of them. They were actually one of the reasons that I was suffering and struggling with huge panic attacks, because that place wasn't like a safe environment at all. I had like some few people that I was getting along with, but others was really like bad vibe energy, like every day for months, every year. So I lost that job because they forbid me to come back. They allowed all of the others to come back, my colleagues, to that market, but not me, because I was touching people. I was too close to people. And the COVID and the pandemic, you couldn't be close to people. So even if I did not like that job at all, like at all, I was just good at drawing. And I'm Moroccan. I'm from Morocco, and I just like downloaded that skill within me of henna tattoos. But I never liked it, and I always lived in the frustration of I want to be a singer and I cannot. So, anyways, like I wasn't happy at all because I lost that job. But that was my stable, let's say, like source of income, even so if I was working only 2 to 3 months a year. I was combining that from 2018 to 2020 with working as an actress in TV shows in Spain. That closed as well. I didn't want to be an actress anyways, and I did not like that back then anyways. So yes, I was just like getting money out of sources that didn't bring me joy at all. But even so, I needed to work, right? So I was already with anxiety, with a lot of anxiety attacks. And I was very proud that I was already like in control of my panic attacks back on 2020. So back then I would just have like one every year and a half or two or so, which was really good because I was again applying the law of becoming, and I learned to overcome the fear of having panic attacks. But after losing my only source of income and my husband's as well source of income, because he's a photographer and videographer working for events. And back then he was working only for events, so events stopped too. We had literally zero money, and because we didn't say never anything and we were always living like day by day, we were broke as a joke. We had no money, not even to pay rent. We had to rent a room. We had like, I was going every week with a suitcase to pack food, like cooked food from my mom. She was helping us like the whole time. Otherwise, I have no idea. Like, I don't know how people survive that situation if they did not have like a great help, such as family, like really helping you. So my mom was basically cooking for us. That was the help. And it was wonderful because we love as well how my mom cooks. She's the best Moroccan chef in existence. Everybody knows it actually. Like everybody that knows her food knows that this is true. So in a way, yeah, we did not suffer that, but we had zero money, not even to buy bread, not even to buy like shampoo. I remember my brother buying me shampoo. Yeah, and this only in 2020. And as you know, I am now a person that I have abundance. I have unlimited abundance and I do whatever I want anytime that I want. For me, that's freedom and that is abundance. And I am wherever I want. If you want to know more about how to manifest unlimited abundance, you have the masterclass abundance in the academy, maybe outside the academy too. I'm not sure yet. So that led me to go back into panic attacks, big time. The fact of losing my job, losing like all control of my life. I did not have control of my life already, as many did not during the pandemic season. Well, season. Like it feels really like a lifetime. So I went back to the worst panic attack. And in that moment I hit the bottom of I can't, enough is enough. I rather die because I already thought that I healed from so many years, not even healed, but I was already in control of my panic attacks. And apparently I'm not. I'm back into the same, like panic attack, one after another anxiety attack. I had like, I could not see any vision of my future at all. At all. Like I was completely lost and frustrated and in pain and fear. And it was pointless to leave. Even if I love my husband and my family, my mom, my sisters, my brothers, it was like, it's pointless. I'm suffering. Like, this is not worth it. I cannot understand life this way. I prefer to go. That's it. Game over. I failed. Well, I did not fail in many aspects, but I failed in the intent of living in balance and harmony and happy ever after. So whatever. So I was crying that night again, depressed, and leave the bed. And in one point, I could not just like exist in that pain. And I started meditating. So I finally manifested something for my healing, which was the knowing of Dr. Joe Dispenza. So I started watching his series Rewired. And the Rewired series is amazing because it's very short and it gives you the hope that you can change. It gives you the power back, your power back of, okay, it's in my hands, literally my brain, to change. I just wanted to feel better and to be able to have a normal life, like walking point A to point B without having a panic attack, going to the grocery shop, buying food with the minimum money without having a panic attack and having the minimum money. So that series helped me to know that I was creating that anxiety. After that, I started meditating every day for 40 minutes. And I was continuing during that time having anxiety attacks and so on. But panic attacks, I believe that I stopped having them because I was so focused in changing and with my attention in change that I could skip that. I could skip that, but in a way it accumulated. It accumulated, and after 2 months and a half or so, it was like a huge, like bomb explosion panic attack waiting to go like out and destroy me. And that was exactly what happened. Because one day I was out having a coffee at 12 or so at midday, and I started having one of the worst panic attacks of my life. Like all those anxiety attacks that I was holding back and dealing with those panic attacks that I didn't want to have and controlling, that I was managing to control. Apparently they were like accumulating and then they exploded in one of the worst panic attacks. But I remember Dr. Joe Dispenza said, you have to overcome your body. Doesn't matter how you feel, force your body. So then I went back to my home. I don't know how, because I was white, shaking, like puking, like swallowing my own puke, and walking back home to sit and meditate. That day was the only day in my life that I did 2 meditations. I did the one in the morning and then I left and then I went back and I meditated again. And when I sit down to meditate, the worst thing that you can do when you have a panic attack is to close your eyes because you lose control, right? Now, I am about to share with you my near-death experience, because what happened to me next is that I literally stopped my heartbeat consciously with my mind. I stopped my heartbeat and my brain activity with my mind. Now, the process was like this. I was in this very bad panic attack, but I was so tired of feeling that bad, that hell, that infinite hell, and tired of fighting and trying to fix myself and nothing working, that I finally let go. And I could see the choice of suffer. I became the choice. And I suddenly, finally, it's not that I was able to quiet my mind, I became the neutrality of existence as existence, in the void of nothingness. And I could perceive my soul far away, was a dot, a bright dot, very small, far away. And my soul started to communicate with me. And I declared within me, I'm not afraid of life because I'm not afraid of death. Because in that moment, I was so exhausted of fearing death, because when you're about to have a panic attack, you think that you're going to die, that I was finally like, okay, you know what? I know that I am not scared of death anymore because I am ready to die. And you know what? Let's experience what is death. Let's go with it. And not because in that time I was suicidal because I want to die because life is so much suffer. No, from the joy for existence, from the, I already have a beautiful life experience. Let's go. Let's experience death. Doesn't matter if I die. It's okay. Thank you, love, experience of life. I love that. Thank you, loved ones. I am you. I could perceive that they were me. So even if I leave, I will continue being them. So I will not lose anybody here. I will not leave anybody like here and then I will go to another place. No, I was in that oneness and I was communicating with my soul. Literally, like I could hear the voice of my soul, which was me, within me. And I could let go the fear of death. And then I realized, wait, I'm not scared of death now. I was scared of life. And then I just said, I heard the voice, I'm not scared of life because I'm not scared of death. And it was a kind of a loop, and I'm not scared of death because I'm not scared of life. And in that moment of letting go and willing to experience death, I ordered the experience of death. I commanded the experience of death, of physical death. And because I couldn't take it anymore, because I was like, whatever, in a big whatever, which I call our whateverness, as I say in my book, I was in a big state of our whateverness. My heart started racing so fast, so fast, that now I know the names of those brain states. I moved from beta to alpha because I was relaxed and awake, and then to theta, and then to gamma, which is like the heart is hyper racing, like it's so much more faster than this. I cannot do it. But you are not scared, not at all. I was in the total embracing the unknown, which we will learn here that you have to be for you to have those mystical experiences. Now, again, I chose the death experience, but you can just like choose like whatever experience that's not death, just whatever mystical experience. And by the way, you can interrupt that in any moment. At the moment that you are aware that you exist and you have a physical body and you are like Monica or John or Amorita, whatever, you go back and the heart stops like racing and it goes back to normal. I mean, it doesn't stop the heart, it goes back to normal and you will not have the death experience. But if you just let go and you just like, I want to have any experience but the near-death experience, then you will have that multidimensional experience. So the heart started racing super fast and it went into the fifth dimensional brain and heart, which is gamma. And because I was in such a let go, I moved from gamma to hyper gamma. Now, I am here sharing the brain states, the mystical and multidimensional brain states. Gamma to hyper gamma. Gamma is even faster. So from that super fast brain of hyper gamma, I moved to even a faster brain and heart, which is lambda. And then from lambda, when you sustain it, you go to epsilon. And epsilon is between 0.0 and 0.5 hertz frequency, which is like when your heart stops and you are like in that near-death experience or death experience. Actually, I had a death experience. Like near-death experience for me, like it's a weird concept and it's absurd because you really die. So you weren't near death, you died, but then you came back to the awareness of physical experience to the same lifetime. How I was feeling during that experience has no human words, but I will do my best to express it. I literally was struck with a lightning. Actually, when you are enlightened, it's because you literally are struck by a lightning. You can feel it like super huge or a little bit like in your brain and heart, but you're literally struck by a lightning. And that lightning was huge. It was like, I don't know, like unlimited bolts of electricity, literal electricity, pouring into my skull and straight into my heart, right into my heart. And I could feel without a doubt that my skull had cracked in two, that my brain was cracked in two. Like there was no doubt. But again, I didn't care to die. So it was like, whatever. I don't know what's happening, like whatever. And it felt like billion times an orgasm, like a sexual orgasm, but not a sexual orgasm, a heart orgasm, a brain and heart orgasm that hits your heart and it takes you and you're literally convulsing, electrifying. You're not like in your imagination being electric. Like if somebody's witnessing you, you are convulsing electric as if you are like in an electric chair. Exactly the same. You have seen that in movies. So exactly the same. You are like, I was that. It was so huge. And I started to move, to travel as consciousness through the tunnel of light, which is not a tunnel of light, it's a wormhole to switch dimensions. And it's bumpy, and it's super electric. And I was like going there. And then while having that orgasm, like huge orgasm in my heart, and then I ended up suspended in the void, in the darkness. It's not dark, it's not black because you have no eyes, you don't have human senses, a physical body to see or to touch, like to perceive with human senses. But it is like, how can I express like the emotion of being there suspended? It was the void of nothingness, 360 degrees awareness. You can feel your soul as your essence, that is you, is your soul, but you are in oneness, connected. Not even connected, you are part and the other souls. Just one consciousness, and you're part of it, and you are a perspective of it. You realize like suddenly that you were God. The whole time you were God, who forgot that you were God. Then you laugh in a way, like, I don't know, because you didn't have the mouth or like the expression of laughing, but you could just feel like you were laughing. I could just feel like I was laughing at believing that life was real, because life is not real. The experience is real, but the physical experience of life is not real. And I was also having so much fun knowing that I tricked myself into believing that my dreams weren't with me, and how easy it is to manifest. I was thinking like, but it's so easy. Well, not thinking because I had no brain there, but I was just like so aware of, but to manifest is so easy. I was struggling so much in my life thinking that my dreams were far away from me when my dreams are me, because physical experience do not exist. Everything is unified. And I'm going to explain that. So it's true that you recall everything that you experienced as emotion, but not as the diapositives like this, like frames. No, it's like a sphere. It's a holographic sphere. But even if it's not a sphere, because there's not space or time. By the way, there is no space or time at all. You're just suspended in the eternity. When you're back to your body, you feel that you were there in the eternity. So you feel again like a sphere of emotions, of information, of emotions that you had during your lifetime. And also the emotions that you made feel others all at once, the good and the bad. But doesn't matter, the bad that you felt, that you only feel it as love. You only feel the neutrality of pure love. You are pure love. God is expression of pure love, the I am. And where I was, it was heaven. So heaven does exist, but it is not a place. It's a state of being. It's a consciousness dimension awareness. So I was like, when I did the whole wormhole to switch dimensions, I was switching dimensions from this dimension awareness, the third dimension, to the dimension of heaven. But you don't go to heaven, you become heaven. So I was suspended there, and this is like a short, like my story of my near-death experience. And I recall like so many things: existence, consciousness, why we here. Everybody, by the way, is in heaven projecting here. Like the people that are alive are in heaven. The people that are no longer in this lifetime alive, they're in heaven as well. You never left heaven in the first place. So all of this and more, I was just like connecting to that information again. Then I chose to come back to my body, and it took me actually a while to come back fully to my body, because for the first hours, I was very like not really. No, for the first days, I wasn't like totally downloaded in my physical self. But right away, when I came back to my body, I could not speak. I could not remember how to speak. I could not remember how to walk. I could not remember what it was, like physical things, like a chair, a car, money. I could not remember this. Now we have in the third dimensional awareness, we have we have divine amnesia. And when I was back to my body, I had human amnesia. Before I remember to open my eyes, I was in the awareness that I was having a physical experience with an individual body. But I was there just thinking, wait a second, but what is it? Like, how does it feel to have the experience of having a physical individual self? Because I cannot be an individual self. I am connected to every soul. So I could not know how the physical touch or the physical separation it feels. I had no idea. I couldn't remember at all. So I started to look for my physical self and become aware of this, because this is very important for what's coming for your enlightenment experience, which will help you in your manifestation journey anyways, like without the enlightenment, I mean. I was looking for my body, my physical body outside of me, like this, like what is my physical body? What is it? What is it? Because I was everywhere. I was everywhere because I was oneness, awareness. And I could not find myself because I was looking like out there with the intuition of looking with my hands, which I did not even know that I had hands back then. So I was just looking, and then finally I bumped into this part, and I was like, whoa, this is physical experience, but what is this? Is this me? I could not know where my body started and where my body ended. No idea. I could not put a physical end. For me, separation was like not even possible. It wasn't like a thing yet in my mind. Could not remember that I had eyes to see again, voice to speak because I was telepathic. And I kept my telepathic abilities for some times, during some time after. I could not remember to walk or to deal with motor function and gravity. I would just fall and walk like weird. And because fifth dimensional people learn very fast, I was able to talk and walk after I don't know, 2-3 hours more or less, or something like this. But with the awareness of oneness and doing very weird things for the next months. For example, I will not open doors because I could feel that I will trespass doors. I will bump into doors all the time. I will not pay for things because I was perceiving that things were me. So I will just go and take things and leave. I will have a drink. I will order like juice or water, whatever, like in a coffee place, and I will have it and I will leave without paying, because of the awareness of oneness. Now, this serves for you, not only for you to start to perceive and feel how does it feel, because again, everybody has their own experience, but the thing that you will feel for sure when you are in the enlightenment, in the fifth dimensional awareness, is the oneness experience. And all of this, like bits of my story, of my enlightenment story, my intention with me sharing this with you, is for you to know how it feels, the oneness awareness. Because so many people, they believe like that they are in the spiritual journey of transformation and enlightenment. They believe that they are enlightened, but they are not. And they are missing out in having the real enlightenment experience. So how does it feel? It's like you really feel the oneness awareness. Like I will take something from my fridge or from my wardrobe, like doing like this and bumping my fist against things all the time. Then I will remember to open it, and I will take something from the fridge and I will close the fridge, and then I will throw it to the fridge, thinking that it will trespass it. So what I was experiencing, it was the fifth dimension awareness, which is like the fourth dimension in physical. Is the last state where you can have a physical state while being in the oneness awareness and being in the multidimensional awareness. Then you upgrade into a sixth dimensional being where you are a light being, and then you continue being a light being. Again, because time and space do not exist, all of those potentials exist right now simultaneously. So it's not like you upgrade and you learn and you become better and you become a better, higher dimensional experience. All of them are happening now. Now, going back to when I was back into my body, it took me a while to again to walk, to talk, to know that that's my physical, that was my physical self. I opened my eyes and I've seen my feet, like the fingers on my feet, and I could not know what was that, and it was just, I could just know that was physical, and I could see. And I would cry. I was crying out of joy. I continued having that heart orgasm all the time, by the way, coming back to my body, like after coming back to my body, like during like the first month and a half or so, or 2 months, I would just like stop in this, like in my house on the street to have like a heart orgasm, like huge, like just taking it like this with my eyes in white. Well, so many things. But now to explain a little bit more about the symptoms, the feeling when I came back, I could put my hands inside my body and kind of fix my body. I could download languages. So I was telepathic, but then I started like humming, like singing, humming, and I realized that here they use sound, like they use the voice as sound, but I could not understand why, because you can emit sound without a voice, because you are a sound being. I always say that you're not a light being, you're a sound being, and you make your sound matter. That is why I created In Mind songs, and you can find them in makingsoundmatter.com, because when you change the sound of your body, you change. Because when you change your state of being, you're changing the sound of your body. Therefore, you can change the physical matter, the physical experience of your life. So I was like in the awareness of, okay, here they have a voice, but why they need a voice? We are telepathic, like we are all telepathic. And then I realized, oh, wait, they have languages here. What is a language? Wait, and then I would just download what is a language, and then I would be like, what are my languages? And then I will download, and I was downloading my languages. So what happens is, like, I already speak Spanish perfect. I speak Moroccan perfect, but I wasn't speaking English perfect. But because people that do not speak English, they always hear English everywhere, in the news, in the radio, in songs, in social media. So they do speak English, only that they have it in the subconscious mind. So what happened to me is that when I downloaded English, I downloaded like my whole mind, because my brain was unified. So I downloaded the English I had like in all my brain, in the subconscious brain, and that English just moved here in my conscious mind. So I came back to my body then, like really speaking the English I have now, that maybe for you is not perfect, but believe me, it's so much better than the English that I had before, to the point that I can create videos for you, that I wrote the book, by the way, The Love Becoming in English. I realized that I came back with my English so much better when after 2 weeks I started downloading, which was one of the superpowers. You see that I forgot some superpowers. I came back downloading the book, The Love Becoming. That now it has 1,300 pages, and 90% of that information I had no idea before. So it is a combination of downloads and explained with resources that prove that this is right. And it's about manifestation and enlightenment. Now, I'm recording this video on December 2024. It is not released yet. It is finished, but not released yet. I have to go through it again and correct some things. So it will be released, I guess, by the end of 2025 or before, hopefully. Now, I downloaded like my languages. I was amazed by physical matter. I tried to walk, I couldn't. Then I learned. I downloaded the motor function. I almost left my home naked, like almost naked, because I didn't remember that here they dress up, like here they dress, and I couldn't even remember that it existed more people than my team soul, that my soul team. Could remember my mom, my dad, my sisters, my husband, some of my friends, but I could not remember that there were other human beings here in this planet. And when I realized that it was a street with people, oh my God, that was huge. So I left and I wanted to hug everyone. I was like crying with joy, walking like people, I think that they thought I was crazy or something, was just like walking like this, like in awe and so enlightened and fifth dimensional. I could not perceive myself moving neither. That was another superpower that helped me like upgrade my body into longevity, because I was so multidimensional that even if I was moving point A to point B, I could not perceive that I was moving. Even if I was like seeing people moving or cars moving, I would actually laugh and think, they think that they are going somewhere. They're not going nowhere. They're going nowhere. They're having a suspended experience, moment by moment, rendering everything that they think it's their environment, moment by moment, just like a video game. So what you feel and believe is what your brain sends as information to your body. So because I was rendering time and space, like moment to moment, my body cells were upgrading, because you create body cells every single moment, like moment by moment. But you believe in linear time. So therefore you are literally programming your cells to die. So that is why people die. So know that in the future, very close future, I want to specialize myself. I want to focus my energy, in longevity and physical immortality. And of course, always in singing, because that's what I love as well so much in mind songs. Now, when I come back to my body, I downloaded as well after 2 weeks the Law of Becoming book. I never stopped downloading information about consciousness, existence, why we're here. At the first 3 days, I didn't even realize, by the way, that I died, because I could not, because death is another illusion by the brain, even the physical one. So after 3 days, I started to download. And the first days, I could feel again like the zzz, like electricity in my brain, downloading information. I would download information before formulating even the wonder and curiosity and question. It will download already the answer. And synchronicities of everything was just like everywhere for me. Everything is a big synchronicity. You just don't see it when you are in the third dimensional awareness. So I was so thrilled and so happy and so like whole being the fifth dimensional awareness. And I was so connected with everything, and I was perceiving reality as as I am, as we really are. I couldn't, by the way, perceive even physical temperature. Like it was like a non-temperature like feeling, like not at all, zero. I did not need to sleep, to barely sleep and to barely eat. Like sexual like need zero, absolutely zero. But heart orgasms, I would touch myself and I would feel like it was the hand of somebody else. Um, it was the most beautiful. It was the most beautiful experience a human being can have, a third dimensional human being can have, without a doubt. And again, this is for you to get familiar with the emotions of oneness, of enlightenment, and it can go in different levels. In different levels, like like as I said, there are different grades of the fifth dimension awareness, as there are different grades of like sixth dimension, the third dimension, the fourth dimension. So I want to inspire you that this is possible for you. Like my experience, without dying or dying, a different one, but in any way, in any shape or form, energetically or physically, an enlightenment experience where you perceive the multidimensional reality and the multidimensional being that you are. And you can achieve this only by activating your pineal gland. That is why I want to share with you briefly that I did not only had like that enlightenment experience through a near-death experience, I had other out-of-body experiences and mystical experiences that activated my pineal gland. So now, thank you for your time, for your invested time to get inspired with my story. I can't wait. Now I really cannot wait to begin this masterclass to share with you the why and how how it's done, and the practice for you to become it. Because the benefits of enlightenment are not only the superhuman powers and perceiving oneness and so on, and it's because you will perceive oneness awareness, your dreams will manifest, you will become genius because you will be connected to all the information, to all the creativity, to all the intuition, to the life force that will move you like step by step to overcome, like to become, when you become, you overcome any limitations. And the enlightenment experience is meant for you again to be unlimited. And this masterclass is not about my enlightenment experience, it's about your enlightenment experience. So let's go for it. Let's begin with what is the third dimension and what is the fifth dimension. Now, dimensions are consciousness awareness. You are aware of a consciousness dimension with your state of being. Now, when you are in a dimension, then you're not in a place, you become the awareness of that dimension. Imagine glasses that have different filters. So imagine that kind of glasses not only allow you to see, but allow you to perceive generally with your life experience different layers of reality. So the third dimensional being perceives with the human senses, which is like the smell, the touch, the sight. But there are so many more different like senses, so many. And actually in different lives with different physical like selves and different planets, you not always have the same sensorial experiences. That is why it was so difficult for me to understand and download the sensorial experiences here, because it's not like when you have a physical self in different like planets of life, you have the same sensorial experiences. You have different ones. You can have the same ones, different ones, 1,000 different ones. We have like more than 5 actually. The most like notable one, the most important ones are 5. So you perceive from the third dimension and you perceive the physical reality. You perceive that everything is physical and there's like empty space in between the physical you and the next physical thing. It can be like the chair, the wall, the computer, the phone, the TV, the door, the wall. And that's like the physical like space-time that you perceive. And from the third dimensional experience, you really believe that that's all that is. That's all that is. But there's so much more beyond human senses. Now, it is proven by quantum physicists that everything is entangled. It's called quantum entanglement. And it is entangled because everything that's physical, everything, including your physical body, is 99.99999% energy and only 0.00001% physical matter. This means that your body do not exist as physical. You don't exist as physical. You exist as an experience. Now, everything is composed by atoms, and the minimum, like smaller, tiny size of physical things is a photon. Now, a photon is the smallest unit of energy. And a photon, when you study the photon, is empty. There's nothing there. This means that reality is empty of physical, but at the same time is not empty, because energy, which is what reality really is composed of, is intelligent. It's an intelligent field. Now, this field is called, if you don't know, the quantum field. Now, the quantum field is the universe. It's the so famous universe. And you are it. Now, it's not that you are an extension of it. You are it. You are it. And I'm going to teach you an exercise that it will help you realize, literally sense that you are it. Now, the universe is love. It feels like pure bliss, love. So what is then the fifth dimension? The fifth dimension, the so-known fifth dimension, is actually the last awareness of the fourth dimension, where you can have a physical experience while being aware of being a multidimensional being and perceiving beyond human senses. From the fifth dimension, you can perceive reality as it is, and you can perceive the 99.9999% of reality. Let's say that because you're a physical being and you perceive with the third dimensional physical existence, you perceive as well only all that is physical, which is 0.0001%. So you're missing out into the rest of reality, which is 99.99999%. Imagine Imagine, really. So when you are in the fifth dimensional awareness, you can perceive that almost 100%. Like, to not say, let's say 100%, because it is the 100% of what is reality. Because you will as well perceive like the 0.001% tiny physical matter. But know that physical matter is a brain illusion, it's a mind illusion, it's a sensorial illusion created by the third dimensional perception. Now, this quantum field, it is, as I said, entangled, like everything in it is entangled. So you are already connected with everything and everyone. You are it. The only reason why you're not manifesting your dreams is because you believe that your dreams are separated from you. But your dreams in reality are you. You are your dreams already. So when you work in what I teach in the academy, in the Love Becoming Academy, when you work in your soul awareness, you become the oneness experience of anything that you want, that you have desires. So you become the vibrational match and you find each other as an experience. Equal, you manifest. You manifest it in your life reality. Manifestation is about downloading in a dense experience what it already exists in the quantum field as potentials. In this quantum field, everything exists as a wave function of probability. So when you feel that you already have it, you collapse that probability, you collapse that into one outcome, into the experience, and you embody it literally in your physical reality. Again, making sound matter. Changing your state of being, which will change the sound of your body and manifest physical reality. So that is like the brief summary of what is the third and fifth dimension. Now, how to achieve the fifth dimensional awareness, the fifth dimensional consciousness? You can achieve it by activating your multidimensional antenna, which is your pineal gland. As I expressed at the beginning of the masterclass, this is known as the third eye, when in reality it's the first eye. It's not located here, it's located in the back of your head and the top of your spinal cord. So, in the top in the back here. This is a multidimensional antenna that allows you to broadcast and to perceive everything that is. Again, in different levels. So the antenna can be tuned like to perceive more or less. When you activate your pineal gland, you release the chemical known as the God molecule. In science, is known as DMT. Now, DMT in Sanskrit is my name, Amorita or Amrita. And it's the juice of immortality. Now, I will save that to my future lessons for physical immortality. I didn't know that, like after a year and a half or so after achieving that experience of enlightenment, which I did not say yet, but it lasted like more or less a year or so. And then I was back like little by little, slowly into the third dimensional awareness without forgetting, obviously, my experience, which is in my body cells, of how does it feel to be in enlightenment in the fifth dimension. That is why I can share and guide you to achieve it, because once you know the road, you can just go back to it. So then going back to the DMT is released by your pineal gland. And you can release a little bit or you can release a lot. That is why the different levels of fifth dimension awareness. That again is the fourth dimension in physical reality, but being pure consciousness. Your job then is to release DMT, is to activate enough your pineal gland to release DMT. Now, there are many people that they think that they had an activation of the pineal gland because they had or an astral projection or because they had a Kundalini awakening. Now, let's start with the astral projection and why the astral projection, it is not an enlightenment experience. Because you don't switch dimensions. When you have an astral projection, the astral projection is known as you floating above your body, or you go, I don't know, you go like as pure consciousness, like out your house and even like walk around your neighborhood. You go into this space like galaxy, into the like in the stars, and you look at the planets here. That is an experience that it is still attached to the third dimension awareness. It is still in a low vibration frequency. It is not dimension. It is not another dimension experience. You did not went to any other dimension. You are still in your third dimensional dimension. You are still in your third dimensional awareness of space and time. But when you activate your pineal gland, then yeah, you go to a different dimension awareness. For example, heaven is in a different dimension, or the light school of knowledge is in a different dimension. So they are like places, let's say, like there are experiences that they are in different dimensions, experiences that are happening in the same dimension. So why the Kundalini activation generally is not like a multidimensional experience, it will not make you enlightened, it will not make you experience the fifth dimension, is basically because many people experience in those activations that they have, like, they perceive that energy that's moving, right? That's moving in your body, and they start to convulse, they start to shake, the arms go this way, the leg goes that way, they are like in this convulsion, and they think that they are activating, the pineal gland, and they are like having this multidimensional, like superhuman experience. Well, they are not. Basically, that movement, it is because they are doing a great job moving the energy, but they're not letting the energy to hit the heart. The autonomous nervous system is trying to control that energy because it's perceiving something weird, something that's unknown to the physical body. So you enter into the analysis, or into the body is not letting go. Basically, you're not embracing the unknown, and you're trying to control the experience. So the energy goes like to different parts of your body because it's trying to reach the heart, and you are not letting it. So it looks like super, like, whoa, what is happening to that person? Like, it must be like a great awakening. Um, that, by the way, I consider awakening in general for you to be aware that of the potential of enlightenment, and enlightenment, the real, like, okay, I am in the fifth dimension consciousness. So they don't let the energy to hit the heart. When it hits the heart, it goes to the brain, it goes to the pineal gland, and the symptom is like all this shaky. Of course, there are people that they do allow it, and then it hits the heart and the brain, and then you do activate it, because the Kundalini at the end is the same. Is the energy, is your life force energy, is the universe life force, is the universe force. I mean, that goes like from your first energy center, the serpent, until it hits your pineal gland. Is the same. And we're going to learn to do the same here. So now, what is possible for you? For you, again, is possible anything and everything. You just have to be open for it. And that is why I will share with you the practice that it will provide you with this life-changing enlightenment experience. Let's go. Basically, you will meditate, and it will not be like a boring, I can't focus kind of meditation. It will be a meditation guided by me, where you will learn to become pure consciousness. Now, Joe Dispenza expresses this very well. If you want to become pure consciousness and have a mystical experience, you have to become no one, nobody, in no time and no space. Now, it sounds a bit like abstract right now if you're not familiar with this, but it is not that much, and I will teach you step by step how to achieve it. What I did to have my mystical experiences, that again I had more than one, and not necessarily dying, even so I did die more than once as well, is to lose the belief and awareness that I am somebody in a physical body, in a place, in a time and space. Why doing this? Well, because where you put your attention, your energy goes. So if you believe that you exist as Amorita, in my case, I exist as Amorita, I have this physical body, I am in my home, sitting in this chair, this space and time. All my energy is here, so I create this reality. As reality, remember, is rendered moment by moment. So I'm creating this reality, and this is my reality, right? But if I lose the reality, if I lose this reality, and I let it go, and I just forget, literally brainwash myself during meditation, that I exist as physical, and that I exist as someone, and that I exist in a space and time, I will not break free from the matrix, I will become the matrix. Because my attention will not be here solely. It will be in the reality of who I am really, which is everything, which is God consciousness, in everything and everyone. So I will just become everything, and I will start to perceive that I am everything. And it's not the knowing, like the learned knowing, the third dimensional learned knowing of I know I am everything, and I am not my body. No, it will not help you just to know it, learn it in a third dimensional way, but experience it. You have to experience it, and you will have the experience. That is why I'm insisting that it's not just like, oh, I feel that I am in oneness. No. No, something will happen. As I said, enlightenment is an event. It's not a process of transformation, it's an event. Something that happens to you. It can be that you feel a little bit of electricity. It can be that you feel this heart orgasm, like a little or medium or big. It can be that you're floating like and encountering like a spirit consciousness, suspended light beings that guide you and teach you. It can be so many different mystical experiences, but something will happen, a story will happen, an event will happen that you will be able to recall and to explain. Now, this reminds me that that you have a heart orgasm when you become the quantum field, when you become the home, which it can be like the pure state of heaven, or it can be like a mystical experience that you do have those heart orgasms, but you don't experience heaven. You just experience another pure consciousness, like mystical experience. Why it is an orgasm? Well, you came from an orgasm, at least your father had one for you to exist here in this lifetime. And when you die, you go back to an orgasm. Only again, that is billion times greater, bigger, and amazing. And it's not sexual, is in the heart, in the center of your magnet. You, as an electromagnetic being, the center of the magnet is the heart. That is why you have to put your attention in your heart during this meditation. So, not only in your heart and your pineal gland, but I'm almost getting there. Now, when you lose the awareness that you are somebody in a place and time and space and so on, you become everything, because when you become nothing, you become everything. Because as I just expressed, and I love this part, you don't break free from the matrix, you become the matrix. Now the matrix is you. The matrix is the quantum field, is the universe. So you don't have to break free from it. It's like, I'm going to break free from the quantum field where all potentials exist. So those people that think that you have to break free from the matrix, like matrix is an evil force controlling you, enslaving you, like in this farm of souls, like I don't agree at all. You are the matrix, so you have to become it, to become it. Okay, so I'm going to guide you through the most important like bit of pieces of what to feel during the meditation. The meditation, Becoming the Matrix, is provided here, so you have it. Okay, now I'm not gonna guide you now for 50 minutes. No, I'm just gonna give you again like the bit like more important pieces during the meditation for you to know what I will ask you to do. Because as I said, this is a guided meditation, so there's no way you will be bored, because you just have to follow me. You'll be very entertained and 50 minutes will fly. I know, and you will tell me the same. I know that for sure. So even if you're not used to meditate, okay? And by the way, if you are not used to meditate, nobody was used to meditate, and you have just to force yourself to create that habit. If you need help, go to the academy and watch the video, Becoming a New Self. Like there are so many videos there in the library resources to create new habits. So just go there and find your way. For the moment, you have to convince yourself and do this meditation because it's amazing. This meditation is a mix between Joe Dispenza's style meditations and my experience in my out of bodies, like superhuman mystical experiences. I combine his genius speech about becoming nobody in no time and no space and so on with the soul, with my soul, with your soul observing you, which was the experience that I had. Because know that when I had that near-death experience, I was listening to Joe Dispenza meditation. I never know if it was the pineal gland or blessing of the energy centers. Almost sure the pineal gland, but not 100% sure. What I do know is that meditation, for example, lasts 1 hour and 20 minutes, and that I had my near-death experience after 20 minutes, after 18 minutes. But at the beginning of, like, I just listened to Joe Dispenza for 10 minutes, the beginning of the meditation for 10 minutes or so of his meditation. After those 10 minutes of the meditation, which lasts 1 hour and 20, my soul started to guide me, and I achieved that near-death experience after 18 minutes. Okay, so this meditation is a combination of both meditations. Now, what you have to do is, first of all, you sit down, and doesn't matter if you sit in the couch, in the bed, in the chair, it doesn't matter how you sit in the lotus position, just like normal sitting with your feet in the floor, whatever. That is not important. Put your hands like this, like this, like this. it doesn't matter neither. But I did learn to put my hands like this for one reason. And it's because one time I was meditating and I was achieving this huge mystical experience. And I started to like pour right, like ray of electricity, huge electricity through my fingers. And because my hands were like this, and it was just like huge electricity bolt like through my fingers. And I knew, like, even during that experience, I could not even close back my fingers, that it was because I did not had my fingers like this for the energy to roll back to my heart, to roll back to my heart, to roll back to my heart. That is why I always try now to keep them like this, not like this and forcing, but just like this and relaxed. If you open it, it's fine. Like, it's not that you have to be aware of it, no. But like, put it in your intention. If this resonates, I mean, like the thing to put the hands like this, the mudra, this is called mudra. This is only mudra I know, by the way. And now, sit down and you have to relax your coccyx, just like put your back straight and then loose it a little bit, okay? Then your jaw a little bit loose a little bit. I like to have my mouth a little bit open. Then I relax then my jaw and your eyes closed. By the way, when I was in the I know that I have a lot of by the ways, but this story is so large, but it's so like cool that I love to enjoy it, that I love to share it because I enjoy it. When I was with in that mystical experiences, I always, 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 in my case, I know people that they don't have this, but in my case, my eyes are like glued, like super glued. It's impossible to open it, even if somebody comes with something, and cut it. It's impossible. As well, I could not feel my body, like when I was out of body completely. Like, you could cut a leg or you could cut an arm and you will not feel anything. I would not feel anything because I wasn't in my body. Okay. So now this will help you to know, like, that when you go totally out of body, you are not in your body. So you don't feel your body. And this awareness will help you to know that you have to that your goal is to lose the awareness of your physical self. Okay, so start losing the awareness of your physical self, and then maybe you will achieve that out of body experience. You will go out of body, okay, and then you will really not have any awareness of your physical self, to the point again that someone can cut your leg and you will feel nothing. So sit, relax, and then your goal is to breathe in and breathe out slowly from your nose and out from your nose, very slowly. And when you think that you cannot breathe more slowly, you have to breathe even slower. Okay, so why we do this is because you want to move from the beta brain state, which is like the rapid brain, the brain that you use in your conscious day, to the alpha brain state, which is the more relaxed brain, to the theta brain state, which is even more relaxed brain. Now, the alpha is relaxed and suggestible, and is the subconscious brain, is part of the subconscious mind, and the theta is the deep subconscious mind, along with the delta. You have to reach the state where you are aware, unconscious, relaxed, but relaxed. For that, you have to breathe in and breathe out very, very slowly for you to slow down your brain waves, because how you get into the gamma brain state is literally through a wave. This is said as well by Joe Dispenza. You get there with a wave, like in a wave, you surf your way into the gamma state. And if you're following me with your eyes closed, by the way, don't do that. This is not for you to meditate. It's for you to just like take the big pieces of the important parts of this meditation, of becoming the matrix meditation. So your goal then is to move from the alpha state, like from the beta state, the rapid state, the thinking brain, to the beta, to the alpha, to the slow brain, then to the slowest brain, the theta. And then you sustain the theta state without jumping into the delta state, which is like the sleep state. There you are doing nothing. You're basically sleeping, even though you can really, like, if you drift into sleep from the theta to the delta with an elevated state, if you did it right, you will reprogram your subconscious with that elevated state. But that's not the goal here with this masterclass. The goal is to avoid sleeping and to sustain your awareness relaxed and awake in between the alpha and the theta brain state, so you can then move to the gamma brain state. Now, in the gamma brain state can, as I expressed, go like your heart can be very fast, so don't be scared in this point. Just let go and have the intention of embracing the unknown, of being in wonder and curiosity. And that is the combo for me and for my students, that they are as well achieving beautiful mystical experiences with this meditation. Know that in the gamma state, you can perceive your heart raising, or you can literally like jump into a fifth dimensional state awareness without having the symptom of your heart raising. Okay, so just be aware that if you don't have your heart raising, doesn't mean that you're not in the gamma state. Okay, you can achieve it in different ways. But I'm just saying that if you do feel it, many people shut down because they feel scared. They're like, what is this? It feels weird. So they're scared and they stop the experience. Know that that is normal. So open to it. You are safe. Everybody that had mystical experience or out of bodies are coming back to the bodies. Like there are no doubt you will go back to your body. Actually, the difficulty is to stay in the other state out of body. Now, you are relaxed, but you are awake, and you are relaxed in your heart. And now combine it to not fall asleep and as well to create open space awareness. Combine it with looking far away in front of you. And then I will ask you in the meditation to feel, to sense a point right in front of you. That's your soul. Now just let go and relax and continue relaxing. And I will ask you to lose the awareness of space in front of you, then in the back, below you, on top of you, on the sides of you, for you to expand, to open the space, in the blackness, in the dark, like of nothingness. Because the goal is to lose the perception of space and time, that you are physical body, and so on and so forth. And now here is the key golden tip for me that I discovered that I love to practice, and is how to help you to lose the awareness of your physical self. Because once you lose the awareness of your physical self, the rest goes easier. Like the space and time, it just goes simultaneously. And the becoming no one, I'm going to give you the tip after, because it's a really great tip and it works. So when you lose the awareness, how to lose the awareness of your physical self, basically, and this I will do it with my eyes open, and you will close your eyes. When you're good at it, you can even perceive it with your eyes open, okay? So try to sit down and do not move. Why you have to achieve stillness in meditation, basically, is because when you move, you perceive again that you are located, that you're in space and time. So be still, super still, and breathe in and breathe out very slowly again, because you want to slow down your brain waves to ride yourself to the gamma state or more. And now I will ask you the next. Try to feel, try to sense, without touching, the edge of your head. You will see that you cannot perceive the edge of your head because it doesn't exist. Like you can only perceive it if you touch it, or something touches it, or because it hurts. But you cannot really perceive it. So try to do this exercise. Like with 2 to 5 minutes, that I will not wait now, so you can do it after. You can really like fade out, literally like dissolve with everything. You will see that you cannot perceive it. Then do the same here, do the same with your arm, do the same with your neck. I'm so good at losing it, like at losing the awareness of the existence of my head and my neck. And you will see that you cannot perceive the beginning of the end of your neck. You cannot perceive the silhouette, the edge of it. Like this, if you don't touch it, it's impossible to perceive it. Do the same with your fingers, with your torso, with your legs. Of course, you will see the bottom of your body because it's sitting, but in a point when you meditate, you will just lose the awareness of it, because it's just like a tiny piece of everything else that you are not feeling. Okay, like when you do this, you will literally dissolve and become everything and everyone, because you will be one. You will be oneness. So now, if you have no physical body, you cannot be located in a space, because you become the space. And now the space is infinite. So, and if you're not located and you're non-local, you cannot be in a time, because what occupies the space is time, and what occupies time is space. So now the last thing you have to work in is to lose the awareness of being someone, to become nobody. That is why you have the In Mind song, Becoming No One, that I created for you to prime your brain and heart and body to become no one in your meditation. You can find this In Mind song in Making Sun Matter with the work kit with everything, or in Spotify and YouTube. Now, I will link it as well here. So to lose the awareness that you are someone, I have the trick here, which I love, which is once you are fading out and you're part of everything and everyone, you are in the darkness, in the void, you are everything. So what you have to do is simply is that everyone that you know, like not everyone, but let's use like 2 or 3 people that are important to you, like your mother, your father, and your love partner, your wife, your boyfriend, or your kid. Like use that person and then just feel and sense that this person, it does not have, like she or he is from in front of you, and it does not have a physical self really, because they don't exist neither. So they are an extension of you, the void of nothingness, in the darkness of the void. So then you realize, wait, they are me. She or he is me. We are part of the same energy field. I am her, I am him. So I can let go really, because I believe that what attaches you here to the physical body is the relations that you have, and who you are, like who you think you are, like your job, your hobbies, and so on and so forth. But especially the relations that you have with people. So when you just lose the fear of losing them, because you will never lose them because they are you, because you know how to fade out and lose the edge of your body and become everything and everyone. You cannot be someone if like you are only someone, I mean, because you're someone to someone. So you cannot be someone if you are no one to anyone. Okay, again, you are only someone because there is they, because there is he, because there is she, because there is it. Okay, so that is why the I am, the existence, is the one point that it realized that I'm conscious that I'm conscious. So I am who I am. Like I am, consciousness and existence and reality is the same. So it realized that it exists, so it created it observed itself. So that was the second dimension awareness. And then it wanted to experience itself, so it created the third dimension. So you cannot exist if they don't exist. Okay? So lose the awareness of them. And you can do it with one, and then with your mother, then with your sister, then with you, and until you got it. Or you can just do it with one person, and then you're like, I really feel it. And in the meantime, keep putting your attention right in front of you and in your heart, because the heart is the center of the magnet, is the seat of the soul. And just let go and let go and let go. Now, I don't need to go more with more details with this, because again, this is just like tiny bits of what will happen during that meditation. In the meditation, I guide you with this, so you follow. Now, for how long you should meditate for you to achieve a mystical experience or an out-of-body experience, and know that I put the difference between as well mystical and out-of-body experiences, because you can have a mystical experiences without going out of body, but then you can have the out-of-body experiences, and you can have mystical experiences that do not activate your pineal gland. Such I consider many, but among them the Kundalini experience, where you don't activate your pineal gland, you just shake, but you do move the energy, so some good will do to you. Or the astral projection, or like there are so many like infinite like mystical experiences. Not all of them will activate your pineal gland. For that, you have to have a multidimensional experience. Now, the outer body experiences to another dimensions will assure you to have a multidimensional experience. And now, for how long you should meditate to really achieve that state. Remember that I shared with you several times that you have to move and slow down your brain waves. That is because when you are in a slow state, you release melatonin. And here I'm going to give you one tip more, which is very, very good. And when you release melatonin, which is like the sleep like chemical in the brain, that when you sustain it without falling into the delta sleep mode, you will turn it into benzotramine or something like this. I don't remember this word, never remember yet this word. But when you sustain that chemical, that turns into DMT. So your job then is to not fall asleep, because then it will turn one chemical into the other until it becomes the Amorita, the Amrita chemical. The God molecule, like the one that activates the pineal gland. So for how long you have to sustain that process is more or less 40 minutes, because that's what the beta thinking brain, or even the high beta thinking brain, like if you're really like hyperactive and stressed, needs to calm down for you to ride your way into the like slowest brain states until you reach the gamma state. But again, I had that experience after 18 minutes. So, and I know it was 18 minutes ago because I was fifth dimensional, like, and I could just access all this like specific information. So it can happen like in 2 seconds. There are people that are so good at achieving like the fifth dimension awareness. They can just go and like go there. I'm not there yet, but I know that I'm gonna achieve it. But in a normal, like beta brain, like thinking brain, it is like more or less that, like 40 minutes or so. Now, for how long you have to meditate? Forever, always, because meditation is the best. So once you meditate after 2 to 3 weeks, more or less, there's no way you will stop meditating. And even so, when there are guided meditations where you will not be bored at all, you will have a mission to accomplish a certain state of being. So I meditate every day. I meditated the first year, I believe, between 2 and 4 hours a day. Then the second year, the same. And then the last year, like I always meditate, like every day. It's only like in this last months, I'm just meditating once a day. But now very soon, I will like next month, I will really start meditating more because we will move from Barcelona and we go to Asia, different lifestyle. I invested a lot of time in creating like the academy in Spanish, in English, in Mind Songs in Spanish, in English, like the book and so many things. But that's not an excuse, okay? I know that's not an excuse, but it was a choice for me as well to slow down because I was meditating a lot and I wanted to have the experience of meditating like less. And now I have it and I want to go back and to meditate a lot again. Now, I want to add here that it can be a challenge to achieve enlightenment. It can be a challenge for the people around you, for your love relationship, because you will perceive reality in a broader sense, like so much more beyond human senses. So it will be uncomfortable for others, not for you, because you will be in the joy, pure joy of being God, consciousness, and pure love, but for others. Now, the advice I'm going to give you is a really good one, and is don't ever let anyone or anything get in the way of your enlightenment journey, because, yeah, the enlightenment experience is an event. It's a moment in time, but then the journey after that, like it continues. As I said, like I was so enlightened for months, and it can be a challenge for others. So of course you will be so compassionate, of course, but at the same time, you can hit a point where others just like overwhelm you, and you just choose to go back to the third dimension, and they will just stop you, from being that fifth dimensional being like for longer period of time, and even to sustain it for the rest of your life. Nothing is worth it, and nobody's worth that ever, because that happened to me. And after a month and a half or so, I forced myself to go back in a way, and I was so enlightened anyways that I could not just go back. So I continued being enlightened. But then what I programmed myself is to be in fear of enlightenment. Is to be in control. So I will just like try to have that experience again, and I will just block it because I will think maybe it's going to happen in a very intense way, and maybe it's not the right time now to go for an intense enlightenment experience. Maybe so I will try to convince myself to adjust it, and so in my mind, like like only a nobody can achieve enlightenment. And here's a great tip: once you are in your meditation, I forgot that. Try to feel that you are in the womb of your mom before being born, because when you are in the womb of your mom, remember that you were somebody, you were someone, because you were your daughter, because you were the daughter of the son of your mother. Remember that you were somebody, a physical body, you had a physical self, you were in a space and time located in the womb of your mom, but you did not know that. And not because of that, you did not exist. So connect with that awareness, how I was feeling when I was there, and I thought that, and I didn't even thought that I was existing, but I was existing simultaneously. That helped me a lot too. So then going back to don't let anyone or anything to be in the way of your enlightenment experience. It is not worth it at all. And whatever happens for the greatest good, it will happen for the greatest good. But I did trick myself back into becoming the third dimension awareness, because it was very, very, very uncomfortable and bad in a moment. Like, even if I could not feel that pain, I had two hearts actually that they were beating in different heartbeats. I promise you. I had the fifth dimensional heart that was here, and in the back I had the third dimensional heart, and this one was protecting this one. Oh no, who was the opposite now? So, but I did have two. And so I could feel both, and I could just go like with how the pain feels without feeling the pain, and just perceiving everything neutral as love, and then go back to the other one. But in summary, because otherwise this masterclass is very, very long, I recommend that you don't do that for anyone and anything. Like, it is not worth it. And who is meant for you, for your greatest good, to stay in your journey of enlightenment, it will stay. Now, this does not mean that you have to learn to self-regulate, because I remember that I had to really, really, in purpose, do a very third dimensional things, such as cleaning the toilet, or listening to Maluma Baby, to reggaeton, or eating in McDonald's during that enlightenment, very enlightened moment, in purpose, because I could feel that my physical body will disappear. I would literally perceive my body becoming a rainbow kind of body. And I did not know that actually there are monks that they work in becoming a rainbow body to disappear into the sixth dimension with as a light being or beyond, without a physical self. I did not know that. I just could I wrote that in my book before knowing that I was becoming a rainbow body. I could only just perceive that. And I would just like struggle like into not disappearing into like from my physical form. This invites me to add my intention of different levels of the fifth dimension awareness. So it's really like different levels. Like, I cannot explain it in another way, in other ways, because like the more DMT is released in your pineal gland, the more fifth dimension awareness you have. Now, when you die, that's the biggest, in my experience, that's the biggest DMT that you can have, like jumping straight from the third dimension to the fifth dimension. So it shoots you straight into the fifth dimension. But even so, I was in a very, very, very high fifth dimension consciousness. So much so that I was perceiving like beings around me, and I would just ask them, please go now. I can't, I'm not ready to see you. But thank you, I love you, but not now. I was in a 5.0, 5.1 or 5.2, but I wasn't in a huge like 5.6, 5.7, which is like this enlightened like fifth dimensional beings that they travel in the spaceships, and they share the consciousness with the spaceships, and they can disappear and appear and appear and be in and have the awareness of different lifetimes at the same time, simultaneously, and bilocate and remote view, like consciously, like all the lives, and going through the experience of it simultaneously as this one, like this super fifth dimensional beings that, by the way, we will be visited by them very soon. And I wasn't there, but even so, imagine how high I was, and I was only in the 5.0, 5.1. So there are different levels, and when you are there, you struggle. You can struggle. I don't want to manifest you struggling, but you can struggle in self-regulating, because you can be such a high intensity that you can literally disappear. Your physical body can disappear. So again, I was listening to Maluma Baby, because he has this like limiting, like sad lyrics of reggaeton. I was like, that's so human. That was like, okay, this will help me to go back to the third dimension for sure, like to regulate myself into more the physical dimension. And then I will clean the toilet. I will eat in McDonald's. Like, I literally went one time to eat in McDonald's, once or two times to eat in McDonald's in purpose to not disappear, you know? Um, so to put it together with, don't adjust yourself so much to people around you, even if they can be scared, but feel compassion. I'm not saying like ignore them with a cold heart. Obviously not, like, um, explain to them what is happening and do your best, but continue going out of body and having those experiences, because once you are activated, very activated as I was, for example, or medium activated or minimum activated, like, but activated, you will have it, so it will be so easy for you to go out of body at any time. So easy, because your pineal gland will be already ready. As I said, it was difficult for me actually to sustain my like to not go out of body. It was difficult. But I was just like, I was struggling to go to sleep. I was like, oh man, I will go out of body again. Like, I would just close my eyes 1 second, I will go out of body. So that's an amazing opportunity for you to have like so many wonderful multidimensional experiences. But if you lower your frequency because of like the influence of others, it's not that you will not achieve the fifth dimension enlightenment again. And it's like, you have to achieve it again. But I was already there and I lost it. Like, I lost that huge enlightenment. That can happen again, of course. When I had that experience, I did not have anyone to communicate this, like really that will understand me. I did not have a word for it. I did not have the vocabulary that I have now. I could not express myself. But now you do. I remember that I even contacted Joe Dispenza team in support. They never replied, like they never answered to me. And I said, hey, I'm doing my best to not go out of body. Can you please, do you have please? And like, I did not even realize that it was because I was meditating that happened to me. Like really, I was in another literally dimension. And like after days, I realized, wait, but I was listening to his meditation at the beginning. So maybe he knows that this can happen. I didn't even know that it happened to him as well, like these mystical out-of-body experiences. So I contacted the team and I explained, hey, I'm trying to not go out of body. Can you help me? Like, do you have experience with it? At that time, I did not even know that was happening as well, like in other people. And it's not that I thought that I was special or something, like I had zero like ego in that kind, like of that kind, but I literally, like from my best humble self, I did not even thought or like that could happen to some of his students or to himself at all. Because I did not read the book Supernatural of him. I have only started reading his book Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. Only started, like not really only started, but I did not even finish it. And I was reading it with panic attacks and anxiety attacks. I could not really even put attention in all the words. So I had no idea about the world of the mystical or pineal gland, never heard about it. Like even so he mentions it in the Rewired series, which I rewatched again, like so long after. I didn't even pay attention into it. I just paid attention into how to reprogram myself to not have panic attacks. So again, when I wrote that email, I asked for help and they never replied. But my help wasn't to go out of body, it was to stop going out of body, because I was like just going out of body all the time. So don't miss that train, that opportunity if this happens to you. Explain this to your love partner, to your relationship, to your friends, or to your family, the people that you care. If there are people that they judge you, like because of this experience, let them go. Like if they judge, like if you try to explain them and they still judge you, like in a bad way, let them go. I let go so many people of my life since that experience, not only because they judged me, like, but because of many other reasons, but I wasn't. Obviously, as Dr. Joe Dispenza says, when you experience the fifth dimension, there is no way back. There is no way back to business as usual. So I wasn't the same. So obviously my relations, they couldn't be like a match. Many of my relations, they weren't a match for me. And I wasn't a match for them. Now, this is the end of the masterclass. Hope that you enjoyed it. I did my best to share with you so many wonderful tips and the emotion of it, which for me is the most important, the emotion of it, of how does it feel, like how oneness it feels for you to utilize this information, not only to achieve enlightenment, as again, this masterclass is meant not only to practice enlightenment until you have that moment in time of enlightenment or more than one, but to have the oneness awareness to manifest literally anything you want in your life. Now, if you need help and you want more information because you resonate with the way I have to share, this information, I will see you in the Love Becoming Academy, the academy of your dreams to manifest all your dreams. This academy is based in the science of the soul to manifest it all and in what I teach, which is soul awareness and repetition. Now, you can also find my program if it's available by the time that you're watching this, which includes the Love Becoming Academy plus my mentorship, my one-to-one sessions only with
Find
you. Everything else as well there, and as well the link to download your meditation, Becoming the Matrix, the In Mind song, Becoming No One. Love us, and remember that if you want to become anything you want in your life, you have to become it to become it.